Hi guys, I'm Greg, and I'm going to be talking to you about housing in Japan, owning and renting, and investment in different types of houses in Japan. So let's say this is you. You're stuck in Tokyo and you have to live there. First of all, congrats. That's a great situation to be in. But it's not perfect. Tokyo's big. It's scary. You need to find a place to live quick. But there's just one problem. You don't know the first thing about housing in Japan. That's fine. Don't worry. That's why I'm here. So let's talk about different types of housing in Japan. First, you have the house. The most common housing in Japan is the detached house. It's not the most common in Tokyo, but you'll find it in the countrysides and around the edges of Tokyo. This is family housing, 2 to 3 stories tall. In Japanese real estate, they have an interesting notation system. There'll be a central room, which they describe by how many purposes it serves, and then how many bedrooms are around it. So a 3 LDK house is 3 bedrooms off of a single central room that operates as a living room, dining room, and kitchen, the LDK. So that's a pretty big central room. The average house in Tokyo is 1,051 square feet, and it'll run you about $600,000. So it's not super cheap. This is a mansion, comes from the English word for mansion. In Japan, it's though more of a mid to high rise apartment building, usually made of concrete. This is more middle class housing and has sturdy construction and thicker walls. This is used by couples, or smaller families. It has less freedom in the house, unfortunately. In Tokyo, the average size is about 600 to 800 square feet. You start to see 1 DK, dining room, kitchen, 1 bedroom, or even 1K, just a single bedroom and a kitchen, so smaller, and it'll run you about $870 a month, though of course it depends where you live. An apato comes from the English word for apartment. They're going to be 2 to 3 stories tall, most often a single room notated by 1R, where the bed is just lofted. There's no separate bedroom. They're usually made of wood, so worse insulation, worse soundproofing, and the people who live here are going to be alone or living as a couple. Now, the size of these is the smallest, less than 600 square feet, but the price is also the cheapest. You can get it for $650 a month in certain areas, but it's definitely going to be smaller and cheaper than a mansion. So what's the state of housing? Where's it at? Where's it going? Well, buying a home like anywhere else depends on your future plans. However, it's a good time as any to buy a house in Japan because it rose 4.6% overall in the market in 2018, though the most people who capitalized on that were investors, not consumers, because less than 50% of people in Tokyo own the homes they live in. Most homes are actually bought new, however. You'll either buy a new house or buy a used house and demolish it and build a new one where it is, because the land is valued higher than the house in Tokyo. So to rent or not to rent? Renting is kind of a headache because it comes with a lot of fees. There's something called key money where you pay your landlord up to 6 months of your rent just in a flat fee. You need to get a guarantor to sublease you, usually a family member, to pledge that if you don't pay, they will. So it's a bit of a hassle. Still, most young people and professionals are using it because it's easier than living 6 to 8 years that it takes to make money back if you buy a house in Tokyo. So investing. There's a very low interest rate in Japan. Prime Minister Shinzo Abe implemented something that they call Abenomics. It's controversial, but it worked really well in the housing market with the low interest rate bringing in investment. So a 0.5% increase in investment in Japan in 2018, but it did seem like the economy, that 4.6% increase overall. More money is also pouring in Japan because they're busy building stuff for the 2020 Olympics, which are being hosted in Japan, so that's good for them. And finally, foreign investment has increased enormously. $2 billion has been pledged by 2020 from LaSalle, and from Hong Kong, $3 billion since 2015. So my question to you guys, what kind of housing would you choose if you lived in Japan? And knowing what you know about the trends and the market, would you buy or rent that house? Thank you guys for your time. Hope you enjoy.